Hello everyone, and welcome to the 9th episode in a series where we create a design system in Figma called FDS. In this episode, we'll be doing iconography, and everything we've been doing so far has been in this design tokens library. We're now going to move into the iconography library, so let's just jump in and start with, what are icons? Well, icons are small visual cues that help users navigate interfaces, perform actions, and understand functionality without relying on text. They're used in buttons, toolbars, menus, and other interactive elements to create a more user-friendly experience. And as for icon sizing, well, a general rule for icons is that they should be used at the size they were crafted and not resized. For example, a 24 pixel icon should be used at 24 pixels, not resized to 32 pixels. This is why you see icon sets that provide 16 pixel, 24 pixel, 32 pixel sizes and larger icons called pictograms that can get up to 64 pixels or 96 pixels. Each icon increases in stroke weight as it gets larger, and we use trim areas inside each icon to make sure the edges of the icon don't touch the sides of its container. Let's zoom into this home icon example where the 16 pixel version has a stroke and a trim area of 1 pixel. The 24 pixel version has a stroke of 1.5 pixels and a trim area of 2 pixels. The 32 has a stroke and trim area of 2 pixels, and the 64 pixel version has a stroke of 3 pixels with a trim area of 4 pixels. And for crafting icons, well, here's the step you would take to craft a 24 pixel calendar icon. Step 1. 24 pixel frame. Start with a 24 by 24 pixel frame and then name your icon. This is the naming convention. You've got icon/name/size. For example, that would be icon/calendar/24. Step 2. Use basic shapes. Draw the icon using primitive shapes. Try to snap the points to pixels and then use 1.5 pixel line thickness. Step 3. Modify shapes. Change join and points to rounded. Use border radius on corners. Step 4. Flatten and style. Select all shapes and flatten them and assign the content primary semantic variable to the layer. Step 5. Create component. Delete the guide, create a component out of the icon and add it to the rest of the set. And you can see the guide here in the background at the beginning that you use to guide your way through, and then you delete it here before you make the component. Alright, FDS is free. So let's use a free icon library called Feather Icons from Colbemus that cover the 24 pixel size and have been turned into their 16 and 32 pixel sizes by Thomas Pernkoff. They will act as a base set of icons for everything we create in FDS. And we'll create more of them and also pictograms and illustrations if we need them in future episodes. Okay, and what do you get? 16, 24, 32, and some status icons in those sizes too. And if we zoom into them, let's just choose this one. They've all been flattened to one layer. You can see that here. And then content primary has been assigned to them. This is going to allow you to use it in the future and then just change its color to whatever you want. So if you have an icon that's brand, you can do that. If it's a notice, you can do that. If it's positive, you can do that. Awesome, but let's turn that back to content primary. And if we take a closer look at the status icons, we select the back of the info icon, we can see content info. And then its eye has content primary inverse, which allows it to switch to dark mode very easily. Let's go do that here. And even though there's 285 icons in each of those sets, along with the additional status ones, we don't have a UFO icon, so let's go and craft it. Okay, I've zoomed right in. Let's select the Tools icon template that you can find here. That has the 16, 24, 32, and 64 sizes. That you can change to the size that you want over here. Let's go back to 24. Alright, a UFO. I'm going to start with an oval. And as soon as I start to draw this out, you can see that I'm trying to stay within this square. Let's try to do that for now. I'm going to get rid of the fill. I'm going to add a stroke, but let's just keep it at black. Change that from inside to center. Alright, then I'm going to duplicate this by hitting Command D. Just going to move it up until we hit about there. And then just resize it so it looks like the part that the alien sits inside. Alright. That'll about do it. Let's move this up a bit more. Move you up. Actually, let's move them both down. And let's zoom in. So I can double click on this to go into edit mode, hit the pen tool, hold down Option to remove this point, press escape, then double click again, because I want to grab this point and just move this up. Let's go and do the other side. Okay, until this curve here starts to match the curve below it. It's still a bit out. Let's go half a clip up. That looks about right. Let's actually move that down one. Yeah, much better. Grab them both and move them up because it's going to need some lines. Let's press L for line. Just drag it down, double click on it and move the points back to there. I'm going to duplicate it by pressing Command D and then just move that over. Duplicate it again and move this one over to about there. Then I'm going to resize this one by double clicking on it and moving that point up and then doing the same over here. Okay, so we want to get these intersecting but remove this line. If we just select both of them and go flatten and then go into select mode, that's not going to happen. They're still kind of individual elements. So let's undo that. Select this one and move right in. You can double click on it again to select it, or you can go up to Eclipse here and then use the more icon to go down and go into edit object. Then I'm going to grab the pen tool and I'm going to move it along until it hits this point here. Then I'm going to bring my mouse over here and do it again. Then I'm going to go into edit mode and delete all of them. There we go. Let's move out again. All right, so everything is still separated, but we need to select everything and then go over to the settings here in the stroke, change your endpoints to round, and then change join to round as well. All right, let's just zoom out and see what that looks like. It's pretty good. That's 4 pixels from the top, and this is 4 from the bottom. These could probably be a little bit further away, so let's double click on the path and move it down to there. Let's do the same here. Okay, the next step is to select everything. So let's just go over to the layers and do that here. And then make sure they're in the icon folder, which they aren't. So let's drag them into there and then right click and select flatten. All right, something interesting happened there. So let's just go back. Go to mixed here on the endpoints and change that back to round. And while we're here, let's go over and add the semantic variable of content primary. Then we're going to come back to the layers and go icon /UFO/24 as its name. Change that to a frame. Delete the template. Select this and then create a component. So let's go and do that here. And that'll become part of the rest of the set, but I'm just going to drag it up to where it should be. So let's go find the 24 pixel icons and then it's going to be underneath type and before umbrella, isn't it? And while we're here, I forgot to change the stroke from 1 to 1.5. So it's going to make it thick enough for when we zoom out to 100%, you can actually see everything nicely. All right, now if we go to assets, icons, icon, and then find the icon, let's go all the way down to UFO. We've only got the 24 pixel version, unlike the other ones that have 16, 24, and 32. So that's a bit of homework for you. You can take this icon, size it down to 16 pixels and then back up to 32 pixels. Then you'll have the whole set. And that's it for iconography. In the next episode, we'll be looking at variable scoping. I hope you're looking after yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.